welcome. This is Fashion, Art and Media, and today I have a new guest. And guess what? You are going to be so excited listening to what he has to say. I know his story, and therefore that's why I say that it's very exciting. So buckle up, let's listen to our guest today. Hi, welcome, and tell us your name, please.
My name is Frank Gilhooley.
Hi, Frank. Welcome.
Cool, thanks for having me.
Where do you come from?
Well, I've been in Scotland all my life, but I come from a wee village, a wee town called Loanhead near Edinburgh, but that was where I was brought up. I now live in the Scottish borders in the hills. It's beautiful.
Right. Well, Scotland is beautiful everywhere. I've never gone to any place in Scotland and not loved it. So it's nice to be from Scotland. So our viewers are normally from all over the world. You probably will tell them something that they might like or admire about Scotland. But today, mainly, we want to know about what you do. Please tell us a bit about what you do.
God, where to start? I've got a very strange life.
From the beginning.
Well, I've been a landscaper all my life, and I've always had this little business that I have, but I stumbled into acting when I was at 30 years old. And I've been very blessed that having stumbled into it, I've developed a career, and I've been very blessed to work for so many companies around the world, from the BBC, STV, ITV, lots of British companies, but also Marvel. I've just done a job there for Warner Brothers. And it's just like a carpet rolling out in front of me. It's an adventure, and it's a nice carpet to walk along. That's what I can say.
Wow. Amazing. I have seen some of, your work, but I don't even know where to start from because they are all so exciting. Can we start from Marvel, please? Because I know most viewers love Marvel films, books, and all that.
From Marvel?
Yes.
From Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, please. Yeah. Tell us more. Yeah. Tell us.
Well, it was just, I got the chance of an audition. It was a strange one because I'd been through quite a bad time in my life. I had a large business that I don't know if you remember, the banks all collapsed back in 2007 sort of thing. And I was in the middle of a very big development that me and my wife had undertaken. We sold our house and all this. And we came to a conclusion on this where the bank was just really doing bad things to us. And we had a choice to make: choose, fight them, or go with the family and look at the kids and think of the kids and let the development go. And we decided to do that. We wholeheartedly let the development go. And I think it was, the universe said it was the right decision, because literally 3 weeks later, I get a call from my agent that they wanted to see me in London for a part in Guardians of the Galaxy, but we didn't know what it was called at the time. We just knew it was a Marvel movie. I'd given it a fake name. It was called Full Tilt. It was just nonsense. It was just to keep the media away. So I did that, and I went down to London. I filmed on. It was a colossal film set, huge, absolutely huge. James Gunn was brilliant. What a great human being. He invites every actor individually in as they arrive from all over the world to come for a coffee and chat for 10 minutes, and just he explains what he wants out of them. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience to be part of something that's so huge. Like everyone, you get lots of scenes that you think, I was working there for almost a month. And when I've seen it, lots of the scenes, different things have been cut. Personally, in the movies, because when I was cut from these scenes, well, Chris Pratt was in the scenes, Dave Bautista was in the scenes, Zoe Saldana was in the scenes.
Wow.
Groot was in them, Rocket. So they're all cut. So the film could have been 20 hours long. It really could have from so much. So it's a pleasure to be part of something like that. And
yes, of course.
that, I mean, literally a few weeks later, I got a phone call about Outlander. That was my next role. That was literally months between them. So to go from a huge project that was just absolutely wonderful to be part of, you know. So it's a great thing. I always encourage people to go and search the creative side, and really immerse themselves in the creative juice, because everyone's got it. Everyone has it. They're too busy to out and check and find what their creative juice is.
That's right. That's so true. Everyone is creative, really, except different type of creative. So Outlander, was that from BBC?
Everyone's got at least two different kinds of creativity.
I think you're right. Yes.
It just got cut out there for a second. Yeah, Outlander. Yeah, no, that's not BBC. Outlander is Stars, or it was back then, Stars. And there's quite a big company. I think they do most of their stuff in America. But yeah, that was another big project to be part of, and it was great to play. It was a beautiful little role. I played Torrin the Ringmaker, so that little wedding ring, which is a big thing, it's on sale in every jeweller's in the world almost. So I turned the shaft of the key from Lallybrook, I turned that into the wedding ring. For Jamie and Claire. I keep forgetting to get their character names as opposed to their real names. So it was a pleasure to be part of that. It really was. But I'm also very lucky to have been given some of the best lines ever in Scotland's best ever comedy, Still Game. So that it's fun. Newer ones as well when they started the new series, but it's funny when you get people all over the world. You know, I do a lot of charity work, and I've had people. I was sitting in a bar in just a few months in Cusco, and you fly another 2 hours into the mountains to Cusco, and having someone shout your lines across a little bar is crazy. To how far that comedy goes across the planet is unbelievable. I've had people shouting in the middle of the bush in Australia when I've been cycling, and I've stopped for a second and people shouting the lines at me in Australia in the bush. It's crazy. So yeah, it's such a great thing to be part of that world. But you get other hard roles. You get hard roles.
Hard roles like which one?
I played quite a horrible for. Sorry, you went dead for a second there.
I know.
No, you get hard roles like I played an incestual rapist for the BBC in River City, and that was so that was a really a horrible character, and he was in it for quite a while. But do you know what's really amazing though? Is I've had a lot of times if people see me and they look at me and they give me a funny look, I know it's someone who's seen me in River City, because they're like, oh. But in the street, I've had many people come up to me and hug me because to thank me for bringing that story, being part of it, and bringing that story out in the public, because it's happened in their family in real life. So it's hard. It was a hard story, but great to bring that out and help people through a crisis.
Well, this is it. And some people, from what I think, when they watch a film, it becomes part of them. They get to live that. So yes, people will shout at, when they see you, feel good, shout your lines out. And some people in those, villainy type of scenes will feel a bit different. But yes, again, that's the price of fame. So tell us about any other films.
Well,
Mhm.
the one that's not out yet though, it's a wonderful, funny role, but it's for Warner Brothers. It's just been released in America, but it should be coming out soon in the UK,
Okay.
and it's part of a series. It just won an Emmy, or had an Emmy nomination, but it's called Mrs. Davis, and it's all about an artificial intelligence app that takes over the world. And you know how we're always on our phones, we're all like this the whole time. Well, this is an artificial intelligence app that takes total advantage of that.
Wow.
And
I
it
can't
works
wait
out
to watch
how
that.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's really good. I've seen it, but it's really, really good. I think it's a well worthy watch. It's about a Catholic nun who takes it upon herself to bring down this evil, and it's really good. A lot of comedy in it, and it's quite fast action, but it's a wonderful watch. It really is. I was filming in Figueres in Spain, so it was really good to be able to film, and your hours are quite different on different days. Some golf at the same time.
Right.
That was good.
That's fun. Sounds like great fun.
Yeah, that's good.
You act in so many different roles. Do you act as a villain or as good guy? Which scenes do you normally get to have?
Well, because I'm 6'3" and got quite a rugged look, so I quite often get asked to do rough, intimidating roles.
Right.
And I love it because anyone who knows me knows I'm just not like that. It's the opposite of what I am. So it's great escapism from real life to be able to play these roles.
Right.
But I don't know. I think I've had 32, 33 mainstream TV and movie parts since I started.
Oh, wow.
And I came into it quite late at 30 years old. So it's great to have all the different, there's a whole different range, and it's great to play these roles. And for some of them, like even the one I done with River City, where to finish it, I had to have a complete breakdown and a complete sorrowful collapse and let everything out in tears. And that was so I made it my objective in this, even though I was an evil, horrible person, I made it my objective to try and make the audience have some sympathy for me.
Right.
And it was really, really interesting, the dynamic of how it worked. So that's a challenge. It's good. It's a great thing to get into. I would urge everyone to get into acting, because people say to me, "Oh, I'm too old," or "Oh, I could never do it," and all this sort of thing, And I say to them, I'm a landscaper. I just stumbled into it when I was 30 years old. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. That's what I say.
And the best part is, for me at least, when you start at that age, with you have your family, your children, this is so nice for anyone listening, anyone going to watch, because then they know that really age doesn't matter. You can start from anywhere and become, what you want to be. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's really great.
I would urge everyone, and if you get, that's why I also, as I explained to you, teach performance.
Yes.
And it's a great thing to be able to draw people in who have thought about doing this sort of thing, but never got round to it in their life, always too busy, always making excuses. But it's great to see people have the chance to let,
Right.
even if they don't eventually go and make that big step. The great thing is when they come into classes, everyone gains their confidence
Yes.
to the greatest it's ever been in their life.
Mhm.
And they also get their moral compass adjusted.
Right.
So, because if everyone's got their arrows pointing to me all the time, you know, the universe generally will never
Yes,
help
exactly.
them.
Mhm.
And that's a fact. And if they point the arrows out the way and start looking to help others, it's incredible how quick people rise in life and find themselves in
That's true.
a very wonderful dynamic life. So
That's true.
that's the big thing I teach in my classes, and it's to do that we have to rather than looking out the window, we have to actually look in a mirror, and we have to start looking at ourselves.
Yes.
And it's, to be fair, that's how I got into doing charity work now. You know,
Right.
so I'd mentioned to you, I'd done the West Highland Way, it's actually quite hard, the West Highland Way, but in Scotland. But then I cycled across Australia,
Right.
which was really hard. And then just before COVID, I managed to get 9 people to join me, and we climbed Kilimanjaro, which was amazing. That was amazing. But I got another group together, so we got 14 of us, and we done just a couple of months ago Machu Picchu,
Amazing.
the Inca Trail to the lost city of Machu Picchu. So it's great to do these things and raise money for people who have nothing. You know, with the one when we done Kilimanjaro, we built a school in Africa, in Malawi, it's great to see how it works, because we built it. Me and my kids are all Glasgow Celtic fans. We go to the football all the time, and we raised the money for a group that I started called the Wander Boys, because we wander all over the world, and Celtic fans are known as the boys, so the Wander Boys. But it's great to see like we got Celtic fans to go and organise all the work and build the food centre in Africa, and we scheduled them all. They all paid their own money and their own flights, and they came out. They're all in the construction industry, and then they helped, and the local people, the local workers there, they came and helped as well. And then as each trade was finished, they went home. The next trade arrived to start, and then when they all finished, it was all set up. We funded it with food for 10 years. So I can't remember the figure, but there's something like a couple of hundred kids getting fed every day for 10 years guaranteed.
That's amazing.
From the trek that we done. And it's no matter how bad a day you have, it's great. These kids are getting fed today because of what we've done. And it's good to do the next one and the next one and just keep it going. So
that's really nice.
It's a great thing that I teach.
Are you spiritual?
It's a lovely thing. Am I?
Are you spiritual? Because from the way you're speaking, the universe definitely is appreciating what you're doing for the world.
Yeah, I believe so, because I think the more you do that, it rewards you instantly, because what you find is you have a more dynamic life. So you escape your comfort zone. You know, my brain gave me 1,000 reasons why I should not climb Kilimanjaro. You know, what if you fall? What if you get hurt? What if you make a fool of yourself? What if you're not strong enough? What if you can't do it?
And
but if you follow your heart, my heart had one reason. I want to do it. You know.
Right.
So with the heart saying, I want to do this. And so to do that, and so the next one is 2025, we're doing the Grand Canyon. It's a 7-day hike around a certain track through the Grand Canyon. So, and probably 2 years after that is the Great Wall of China. So
that's amazing.
It's a great thing to be part of. These are all, you know, what you call bucket list adventures.
Yes, of course.
You know, adventures you do before you kick the bucket. But these are to know that everything you do, you help people with the money you've raised, but also you help the people that come on the trip with you, because this opens their life, their
Right.
lives up as well, you know. So yeah, going back to that, I would say definitely I would say I'm very much a spiritual person. I believe, as the Peruvians say, I believe in the Pachamama. I believe in the universe. She's always looking down on you.
Oh yes, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we often say about having, in my classes, I say about having faith in the universe, but no, I actually urge people to take it further and to surrender to the universe.
Yes.
Once you surrender, you know, if you say, look, what will be, will be.
Exactly. Thank you.
So what have you got to be afraid of in life once you've made that decision?
No,
you know,
nothing.
So it's so yeah, that's a wonderful thing that I teach, and I love seeing people in my classes take this message and actually grow.
Yes.
And I see people coming in. I don't know if you know this, but the world of acting attracts a lot of people who have had serious damage in their life, and people who have had horrendous treatment as children. And it's really, really common. And sometimes they get into acting for looking for something that's on the opposite end of the spectrum, to give them some sort of life and hope and happiness.
Yes.
And when we see them letting go, we help them let go of everything in our classes. And I swear, you see people's posture change. You see their posture change. You see their eye contact change. You see their hand movements change. You actually see their whole look change, because they're now letting go of all the damage that happened to them.
Right.
And I actually think it should be, you know, these things should be available on the NHS, you know, rather
You're not wrong there.
trapping people on pills for many years, when you get people that literally, they heal and they go and engage in life again. And it's all about engaging in life and following your heart. And we have a wonderful speaker coming to the class, Amanda Trainer. She's known as Scotland's brain trainer. And Amanda, her life changed when she came to my class. She'd been through some stuff, I won't say it online, but some really hard times in her life, and she couldn't get over it. And we done certain exercises that helped her in a very comfortable and controlled environment, and she let these things go, and she grew. And what a human being she is! It's like she's been set free. So she actually, I got Amanda. She's speaking at my class for a few hours, but Amanda came and done. She done the foreword on my book. My book's out on Amazon Prime, Avoiding the Downward Spiral of Fear. So it's out on Kindle and on hard paperback on Amazon. But it's great to see that, because the book is all about teaching people to help themselves and follow their heart. And it's great getting people from America getting in touch saying, I've read your book. Oh my God, you've helped me so much. Like, wow, you know, it's amazing how far it can reach once it's in book form. So
yes, of course.
Yeah, so
especially Amazon is everywhere.
It's everywhere, and I'll be putting it out. I've already recorded half the book for Audible as well.
Oh wow, amazing!
So the book will be out on Audible as well, and I think Audible's probably got the best reach of all of them. And it's just, you know, it'll just be great to see people get this this message that, you know, to me, that people should be teaching everywhere. And I was only very, very blessed. I'm very lucky. Like I say, the universe looking down. I was, years ago, I don't know how to say this, I was turning into a piece of cardboard, literally, you know, on a brick wall. There was a lot of things in my life I was doing wrong. I was work. And I'd done these classes with this chap in America. Bernard Hiller from Los Angeles. And I'd done a class here. Then he asked if I'd go and do a class in America. And I ended up doing quite a lot of classes with him. And one day he took me aside and he's one of the most powerful, but one of the greatest performance coaches in the world.
Right.
And he says, I want to speak to you. And I was like, thinking, what have I done wrong? And he says, I want you to consider this kind of class. And I was like, wow. And I was like, and my first question was, why? And he says, I watch you and I watch the way you speak to people and I watch the way people will gravitate to you in a class. And he says, you're quite definitely a leader that can take this message. And I was blown away. And he didn't want anything for it. He just knows it's a beautiful message to share across the world. So it feels great to do that, and it's opened up a whole new direction in my life. So I'm hoping in the next maybe year I'll be teaching abroad as well. And it's wonderful because each of these doors that opens for me leads to a far more dynamic life, and it takes me further out my comfort zone.
Yes.
So that's I can't say enough how blessed I am to be able to teach this sort of thing, but also to be involved in acting and all this sort of stuff. But I still have my little landscaping company. Right. And I still work several days a week, just keeping myself. I keep myself grounded.
Yes, of course.
With my little company there, so it's fantastic. It's fantastic, and again, it's why I feel the universe works in so many different ways, and I think I can see us doing some stuff together. I'm sure we will.
Definitely,
because the universe tends to link people and put them together.
I think that our models will really gain a lot from you. So, yes.
Well, it's the message. It's the message. It's just a powerful message of strength. It's amazing how many people go through life and not completely understanding how much they're loved, how much they're needed, and how strong they are, how beautiful they are, how precious they are. And when you go into a class that does this intensely and make sure that it's not going up here, it's going in here, in your heart.
Yes, of course.
People, everyone loves it. Everyone that's been to my classes who leaves a message just leaves a 5-star rating on Facebook, and it's wonderful to see their messages. And I've had a few people saying it's not just helped my life, it saved my life, because they were in such a bad place. And I often joke with Bernie Hiller when I first done his class, because I was about to leave his class. I was about literally, I was like, oh, this is awful. This sounds awful. I just don't know. I wasn't used to him. He's quite a powerful person. He speaks very firmly. Right. I've got a very different method from him, but I actually almost have fear that what if I did leave? What if I did leave and I didn't have this journey that I've got now?
Exactly.
It's not worth, it's not worth thinking about.
Right. So it's really nice that you're helping people. It's also nice that you have accepted to come and talk with our models at some point, because for me, this is really important. I cannot wait enough to listen to, to what you have to say in the class. So thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And what I'll do, if it's okay with you, I'm going to drop you a little link with a code, and I'll give you our website. And if you have any of your models, I tend to, they need a certain amount of life experience to gain the most out of this particular class. But I'll drop you a little link with a code, and if you feel anyone that could really do with this, they just have to put that code into my website, and I'll make sure that gives them a 10% discount so that they've got something
Thank
of
you.
value out of it as well. So
Thank you so much. I know they will love
thank you.
that.
Yeah.
And also,
excellent.
do you have an age range, or is it just anyone who can come by and learn?
You know what? I have had a couple of 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds on, and the problem is quite often they've not got enough to contribute because they haven't lived enough life yet. Because they're still literally being helped by their parents. They haven't went out and seen the world at all.
Yes.
So I want to protect them from coming to a class full of adults where they feel inferior in so much as they've not got the same amount of stuff to contribute to the class.
Yeah. So
you find that once people have been aged 21, they've started to have a few personal relationships and they start to think on a different level. The brain changes and you start to think about things differently. You start to think more about yourself as a being and your own existence. And these things allow you to think and to expose your true feelings in a far more wholesome way. So anyone who wants to come under the age of 20, I really prefer. I have someone who does interviews for me, and they interview them just to check that they are. Because I've had a few people that have only been. To be fair, I've had a couple of people that were 18 and were wonderful contributors. Wonderful. They were really wholehearted, courageous,
right.
And but I think under 20 we have to interview people just to check that we're not going to do them some harm.
Yes,
because I make no bones about it. My classes are difficult, but they're difficult for a reason, because the reward is so great.
Yes.
At the end, So it's. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely, and I like that. We have quite a few models who are 20 and above. Actually, most of them. Right. So. For them, some of our models actually are also, I shouldn't say this because it's not my place, but some of them will benefit a lot because we all have issues, Yeah,
there's no such thing as a perfect human being.
Yes, of course. So I know that I want this for them, especially. I think that your course also helps people to gain confidence.
Oh, yeah. So anyone who needs confidence, there's a reason. There's always a reason. Someone doesn't just come and say, I've not got any confidence today. There's a reason for it. And the techniques that I use, I'm able to find out exactly why. And they're able to look in their life and find out exactly where things started chipping away at their confidence.
Right.
And I also urge people to read a lot, because I'm a prolific reader, but on Audible, I listen on the headphones every day.
Right.
Book after book after book. And the amount of books that I've read, all to do with the human psyche, the human mind. And there's a wonderful book by Gabor Mate from Canada, and it's called In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. And he helps people. He helps people on the street, people who've been really down on their luck, people who are into drugs and all this. And he says he always finds, when he gets them into a really beautiful conversation where they can talk deeply, that the reason they started losing all their confidence and going on the wrong path started with something that happened to them at childhood. Right.
Yes. Childhood trauma is not something to joke with. Most of adults are actually not in a good way because of that.
Yeah, but it's I felt I had a wonderful upbringing. I did. My mum and dad, like every parent, had done their best, but only when I'm in that controlled environment first with Bernie Hiller was I able to understand certain things in my life that were preventing me from doing things. things that were holding me back in many, many ways. And when you're able to get past that, it's like being free as a bird.
Yes,
and you can fly. And it's and to understand everything, because a lot of people don't know that. People know that there's certain things holding them back and there's certain issues in their life, but they don't know why. I always say that people often have these big heavy chains holding them down.
Yes,
But they never. A lot of them don't know how the chains got there.
That's right.
You know, so it feels great to be able to teach people how to locate these issues and how to remove them. And I really do mean remove them. You know, how to attack your problems. You know, once you remove them, attack your problems and your fears head on. Never when you get that little knot in your stomach, don't let it stay there. Attack it right away, and it sets you free for a wholesome life. You know. Sorry, I hope you can hear me over. I've got my window open. It's so warm. I've got my window open.
I can hear you.
We live on the farm, and there's the farmer has a quad bike, and it's just went up and down about 4 times.
No, we've not had that. Definitely not.
Cool.
Yes. So anyway, you have classes where are your classes held? Is it online or in a particular place?
The classes are all over the country. So the next one is in Dundee V&A building, which is an amazing venue.
Yes.
And the next one after that will be, I'm technically not announcing it yet, but it's going to be in Edinburgh at the end of October. And then I would like to do I do different kinds of classes, because I do a 2-day masterclass. If someone wants it, I'll do a 1-day introductory class. I can't. I need to do a whole journey to affect change. So I'm doing a class for a wonderful group of people in Germany, in Cologne.
Right.
The week after the class.
Right. So you have to go there.
I'm going to go there, yeah.
Okay.
And then at the end of October, I'll do a class in Edinburgh. And then what I like to do is I'll do a 3-day class at the end of November. And that's the 3-day class is seriously deep. It goes into everything, because I mean everything. It prepares people for everything if they're getting into acting, and I mean everything. You know, because if you sit someone down, I mean, if you imagine if you're on a film set and you've landed this role, and then suddenly you've got a sex scene with someone coming up, and I don't, people, if they haven't even engaged in the slightest in some sort of close contact, how could they enter into that when they've got cameras and everything on them?
Yes, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So in order to prepare for the potential of that, because most actors will eventually have to do scenes like this. They don't have to. They can refuse the role, or they can just say no. But they won't get the role then, probably. But there's certain things that you can do that you can introduce people, and it takes them way out of their comfort zone, and it prepares them for that. And we do a lot of things like fight scene instruction, and we also bring casting directors, we bring some agents to get to see them perform, and it's a great opportunity. But it's a bigger thing. It takes 3 days, and even then 3 days is just far too short. You know, if it wasn't for how difficult it is, it's hard for people to know. People have not got a lot of money just now. But if we were in different times, I'd love to do a 10-day class, like two 5-day weeks. I'd love to do it, and just what you could do with someone in that time is, they'd literally be racing off into a career.
Yes, of course. And that's what I was going to ask you. Go on, please.
No, and a whole new life. They'd be racing off into a career and a whole new life, a whole new way of thinking, a whole new way of behaving. And it's just I keep harping on about this, but it's just amazing to see when I start a class, I explain to everyone, I'll ask them, who here has never been damaged in life? I say, I'm not talking about your bones. I'm talking about your heart, your head. I'm talking about damage, emotional damage. And you will get some people put their hands up, say, I've never had anything, and it's quite funny because they'll be the ones that are probably sitting across like this. And, they've got lots of things that are telling you, they don't want to be here. And it's always them that are the first ones that you can start to move in on and say, right, and begin to kick the journey off where they realise, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Because we've all been through hard times, and everyone goes through hard times, but very few people manage properly to rise and recover from the hard times.
That's right. So this 3-day class, my viewers invited, or is it just for a few people? Is it open to anyone? The 3-day class.
Open to anyone.
Open to anyone.
Yes.
So if you can give us a link, and then we can try to, obviously the viewers watching right now in Scotland may want to come. So you give us a link, we can register.
The link for I don't release any links for the next class until this class is finished. Because what you get is everyone always shrinks back into their comfort zone. They're like, that class is closer, I'll go to that one and I'll wait on that one. Do you know what I mean? So when Dundee finishes, the next class will be announced that day.
Right.
And when that one finishes, the next one will be announced that day.
On the day it finishes. Right.
Yeah, and it just allows us to move on systematically from one to the next to the next. And I'm hoping to do a couple in London next year as well. It would be nice, So, and it's great. I know a lot of good venues as well. The venues, the St. Stephen's Church in Glasgow. Wow, what a venue! It's such a beautiful old church, and it's huge. It's right in the centre of Glasgow. Right. All the seats can come away, so we have the whole floor space. So it feels. I know I'm not religious, but it feels even more spiritual. And some of it can affect the way people do things in the class, and bring out even more wonderful talent in them.
Yes, of course.
And I always ask people, don't worry about. I had someone on today who they booked with me today for this class, and they said, I'm really, really worried. I'm so worried. I've never done acting before, and I won't tell you what they said, but they're like, I'm absolutely, petrified. And I says, chill out. I says, the whole thing is to help you not feel petrified. Exactly. So when you've done this, you'll never feel petrified again. So just chill out. And they were worried. I could see on their face. I know the person from social media says, what you'll bring is your experience in life. So just bring your good heart with you, and you'll thrive. And so everybody's like that. So I open the classes to everyone. And there's no reason not to when you think of it. Look at wonderful directors like Ken Loach. Ken Loach, I've been very blessed to work for Ken. But Ken Loach often brings in complete newbies that have never acted in anything.
Right.
He often does that. And, if he can bring people into movies like that, I'm pretty sure I can bring people in and do master classes and really throw them in at the deep end.
Right.
And, throw them in at the deep end and see how they swim. And everyone swims great.
That's good. A good result is always welcome by everyone.
Yeah, well, everyone. When people book with me, it gives them terms and conditions that they have to accept. And the terms and conditions do talk about coming with an open and honest, positive heart. Address everything in the class with positivity. And I make it clear if someone's not going to be like that. I have had to ask people to leave before. if someone's going to come full of negativity, and there's not a chance I'm going to let them poison the class.
No.
You know, so and you can spot these things very early, because if someone feels uncomfortable, you can see them making a face at some certain exercise.
Yes, of course.
And if they might make a face because they're finding it difficult, they're actually making a face, looking at someone like, ooh, you know, saying, and what they're actually saying is, I'm struggling with this. Can you join me in struggle so I don't feel bad? And, you know, this is someone who's not committing to it, because everyone can do them. And I've found almost everyone, if I chat to them and I say, do you realise why you made that face?
Right.
They're great after that. But we have had a couple of people that we've just had to ask to leave, because some people are there for the wrong reasons. You know, I think some people just turn up thinking they want to be famous. And
so anyway,
well, anyone who gets into the creative arts because they want to be famous, you know, should just forget it. Go and do something else.
Exactly.
The quest to be famous is just nonsense. But the quest to learn and to use your skills to bring entertainment to others is amazing.
Yes, of course. So this exercise that you do, is it physical or just mental?
Very little physical, very little. In the 3D master class, not always, but quite often, we'll have someone there who's doing fight instruction. So teaching you how to, you know, we have mats and things there if somebody wants to make it look really real and fall and things like this. But it's simple things. It's like if you see a simple thing where an argument happens in a movie, and then somebody grabs someone by the throat. Well, you know, you can't just grab someone by the throat. There's a very strong technique. So if you notice, many times when someone grabs someone by the throat, the person they've grabbed grabs their arm, like as if they're struggling, but what they're actually doing is controlling them.
Right.
This person, they're controlling them so that there's no unexpected, you know.
To actually strangle another.
Yeah. So there's a lot of techniques, like this, and there's a lot of things that you do. Where I've done a lot of fighting in movies and TV and things like that. And there's a lot of things you do where you start and you do it, you rehearse it, but you rehearse it at 10% speed. So you know, you might be very much like, you know, okay, you do the action, but you have to have the distance. You've always got to maintain a distance.
Yes.
So that you can't accidentally break a girl I worked with was on a film set where they didn't have a safety person to coordinate the fight. And between them, they all agreed, right, just do it like this. And she accidentally caught his jaw and broke his jaw.
That's okay.
And that's the filming finished. You know, the story has to change, because nobody's going to wait a month for the jaw to heal.
Exactly.
So it's, you have to, and then you go up to 20% speed, 40% speed, 50, and then, you know, and then at the last one you say, right, we're going to do it 100%, but maintain your distance so that you can't accidentally strike. And you can make it look so real, but that's why we have specialists come in. So there's not a huge amount we sometimes, you know, what we often do in the 3D class is we bring a dance instructor in, and we start with dance. And it's brilliant because they engage with them, and then what we'll do is we'll have, on the second day, we'll have a whole section on dance, and it's bringing acting into dance. So we'll set a song, and then the dance instructor will give them a routine.
Yes,
it's probably a love scene where a fallout, and then they all get back together, or something like that. Go from loneliness to feeling together, all this sort of thing. And honestly, it's amazing seeing people, actors, non-actors, just all coming together and producing stuff. I found myself crying watching people. They're so good. They're so good.
Right.
And it's, you know, so anyone who's afraid I mean, some people are really afraid to dance, but
Mhm.
I've done it. I mean, I'm a big lad, and I love it.
Right.
It's good.
That's good. So is there anything else you might want to tell us that we haven't touched on today?
You know what? I can talk forever. When these people, I can talk forever. But no, I would urge anyone, if they're involved, I'm very well aware that models go through the same issues that everyone else go through in life. And models perhaps can be the issues that they have in their life. They can feel under the spotlight more than anyone, because often it's their moment and they've got to nail it, or everyone sees, oh, that wasn't meant to happen, or whatever. So you can find when you've got the focus on you, no matter how brief, when you've got the focus 100% on you, some people find it really difficult, and that is where, you know, to help people with that sort of thing is just wonderful. It's and that's the whole point of the classes, you know, is people. I can take people whose hearts are absolutely racing just to be in the room of some event going on, and take them to the point where they'll never ever be in that position again. Never. And and that's, you know, it's why I'm going to make such a big focus. I love doing the classes. I actually probably love it more than I love doing the acting, and that's quite a thing, because acting is so enjoyable. But I love it, and it's a wonderful thing to see people changing instantly. I mean, I actually watch people come in who their posture, they're leaning over like this, and you know, people who are apologising just for existing. And I have a series of videos coming out this week. If you get a chance to look at them, one of them's about this amazing person who came to my class.
Right.
And when they got to the door, I could see the door. It was in Glasgow. And they looked in the door and just shut the door again. And she looked again and shut it again like this, and eventually came in. And she had a huge big bag in front of her. It wasn't a bag, it was a shield. It was to protect her, you know, the position of it.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And she walked all the way around and found the single empty seat that was the furthest away from anyone else.
Right.
And when she sat down, she kept her coat on, but she shuffled her seat round so it faced the door a little bit better. And then when she sat, both her toes were pointing straight at the door. She didn't even realise it. She was ready to sprint out that room. But I mean, the whole posture, everything about it was, she tiptoed in as quiet as she could be. She crouched down, and what she was doing was apologising for her very existence.
Yes,
and
course.
You know, from my point of view, that's absolutely heartbreaking. And to see in the class, I had a chat with her and I gave her a hug. And one of the biggest key signs in our classes is the hugging. You know, I try to push everyone to, you know, a hug is a contract. If you go over and you embrace someone wholeheartedly, but all they do back to you is just hang their hands on your shoulder and then walk away, you know, that tells you so much about that person.
So much.
So much. And so anyway, I chatted to this girl and I said, look, I promise you, I can see you've been through stuff. I can see it. But I promise you, if you immerse yourself in this class, your life will change forever. And oh my God, she immersed herself amazingly. She completely changed. When she left that class, even after only one night, this was night classes. I used to do a lot of serious night classes. Right. She was like 3 inches taller. Her eye contact was amazing. She wouldn't look at your eyes before. Her eye contact was amazing. The bag was round at the side. It was no longer a shield, you know. And she was smiling and talking confidently. She wasn't whispering anymore. And she'd went through such a lot she had so much to give out
Right.
about the way she had been treated all her life and was still being treated, that it came out that night in a rash. It came out in a rash all across her. And when you seen it leave, this was a brand new human being.
Right.
And it's amazing. She said to me, she says, this is like a homecoming. She was in tears at the end. She was so happy. She says, this is like a homecoming. I feel like I'm back. I'm back. I've been away since I was 4 years old, and I'm back.
Oh.
And the word homecoming, and that's amazing because John Bradshaw, one of the world's greatest psychologists, he's amazing. Well, I've read all of his books, and he's got a book out called Homecoming, and it's all about his techniques that he does in his classes and how many people come to him and say, it's like a homecoming.
Right.
I'm back. So that's amazing. So I always try to, I know sometimes it feels like I'm laying it on thick, but I always try to impress to people how amazing it is for me to see the change in these wonderful people. Think how it feels for them to go through that, so they feel absolutely ecstatic,
Wonderful.
So it's a great thing. So yeah, no matter what, I'll forward you a link for this class, and then I'll happily forward you the next one, and we'll be in touch on social media anyway, and you'll see the links. But the 3-day class is definitely the most difficult thing. It contains the most difficult things that I ask people to do, but that also brings about the greatest amount of growth. And it's just I can't squeeze it all into 2 days.
I understand. It sounds like you need a whole month to teach people.
Well, I think the average exercise that I do is something like an hour. Some of them are 2.5 hours. Some of them I've got to say, everybody, right, if anyone needs a pee now, go now. We'll stop for 5 minutes so everyone can get ready, because when this exercise starts, we will not be stopping, and it'll take over 2 hours. And so some of them are really, really long and intense.
Right.
And it's just brilliant. So I could actually, I've got 58 exercises that I can do, that I've learned, and I've written down. I've formed my own Bible, just took notes and notes and notes, and then I've adjusted exercises to do my own twists on them. So very, very much they're my own exercises now. And it's you're right, I could do a whole month. So
yes. Well, helping people always feels good. So when you love what you do, when you're helping people, you could do it for as long as possible. It's just that people don't have money these days.
That's a hard thing. I think that's why it's best for me to do classes, because the classes, at least you've got a chance. If you've got lots of people going, you've got a chance to not have to charge as much. I used to charge a lot more. And then when COVID came, and then when the whole cost of living crisis, I just made a decision. I said, look, let's try and have more people paying less. And so it's good, and it'll work, and it is working. But it's just great to be able to help so many. But I don't think I would be so keen to do, I used to do a lot of one-to-one classes, and I would do them online, and I've done them online with people from all over the world. But it's, with the cost of living crisis, it's so hard, because you can't just slash your income and drop when you're only doing a one-to-one session. Do you know what I mean? Course. So that's true. It's wiser, and it's greater for me to help more people and do bigger classes and that sort of thing. So
more people learn that way.
Because
and it's also affordable for everyone.
Yeah, it's also about the people. I make a point of making it clear with everyone that these people in the class can become your friends for life.
Of course.
Because they share so much in common with you. Just the fact you're all here, and then what you're about to experience So it's great. Each class starts their own WhatsApp group.
Nice.
And then
Wow.
they're able to help and support each other. And it's a great thing about that is the continuity of help and support. Because I do get some people coming in my classes, some people come and they've got very little contact with people, you know, and that's difficult. It's, you know, so for them to have all this extra help available right there as friends, friends for life, helping each other with the same feelings. So that's really good. But it's but yeah, and it's for all ages too. You know, I had a woman there do some of my night classes. She was 85.
Oh wow, that's nice.
And she was brilliant. She was so good. She just committed wholeheartedly. And there was things I changed, you know, where everyone's lying on the floor at certain things. I just got her a seat and said, "You just sit there, and you can still do the exercise from the seat." And she was wonderful. Great seeing her bring all that life experience for everyone else to learn from her. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So we're looking forward to having lots of people, some of us, come to your class, obviously.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk with you, and the viewers are going to love this because I've really enjoyed talking to you. I wish we had longer time because this is educational already.
Yeah, well, I love it, and I'm delighted to talk to you, and I'm very grateful that you've asked me. So again, everything, the universe from tonight will both grow more again.
Of course,
from tonight.
Of course.
So and if we can help share, and other people come, and we can help more people, they'll grow, and it's like one giant tree. It just grows and grows.
That's
and
true.
grows, and
That's
we're
true.
all part of it. So no, thank you very much.
Thank you too. It's been wonderful. Viewers, well, until next time, hope you can come back and talk to us a bit more.
Yeah.
Really appreciated, Frank. Thank you so much. And viewers, thank you too.
Yeah. And I'll send my love to them all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bam 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 bam.